Okay, let's begin with silver. So, look at that. New historic high. I was hoping that silver would print maybe $60 before the Fed, and we almost got 61s. So new historic high 60.81. So we have 61s look pretty easy tomorrow. I just got to wonder 62, 63s. I will say, look, RSI 74, it's overbought. Of course, it was a couple of days ago as well, but still, what do you do? Short-term traders are just got to be careful because, look, we could always reverse back to, actually, look, yeah, my thought I was going to say earlier, if we're printing 62, 63s tomorrow, we could easily have a cooling wave to 60 or 59. That's my short-term concern because I'm looking to lighten up. I'm way heavy silver right now, and my position's getting too big. And I should at least sift off probably half at minimum tomorrow. Of course, if silver opens down tomorrow, I will. I don't know why I'm selling at the open if we're down, but if we're up 2 or 3% in the early morning, then I'm probably going to drop half and let the other half ride into the Fed. As ever, we'll take it depending on what kind of start of price action. But today's candle's pretty damn good, right? It's about as bullish a candle as you could ever hope for. You think tomorrow? Well, we could gap up. We could gap up into the 62s, which is why I'm thinking 63s look possible before the Fed. And my concern is that if we get the 63s, the Fed's got to come out and, silver's just going to reverse, 2, 3, maybe even more, for no reason other than just sporadic cooling. Of course, if the equity market is higher on the Fed, then silver will probably just keep on pushing up. So, but again, these are short-term issues. Uh, Absolutely 70 to 75 does look realistic by mid-January. I'm starting to wonder though, if we're printing 62, 63s tomorrow, you got to think, hey, could we hit $70 before Santa Claus? Seriously, we could get 70 before Christmas. And then that makes 75 pretty easy in January. And hell, you got to think, can we get to 100? I accept that's crazy talk, but you know. But anyway, good day for the silver bucks, myself especially. Commodity gold. I should have drawn the pennants on there, but if you look at my SLV or GLD charts, my subscriber page, you can see them there. You can see it anyway. Look, gold. This is a gigantic bullish pennant. Short-term structure since like a week ago. That's a bull flag. It is laggy relative to silver, but gold was up 0.4% today, and that's a bull flag. You got to. When I look at this, right? I look at this chart. This gold's got to go up tomorrow, right? In theory, we should at least come up to test that high, 42.64, probably tomorrow, if not Thursday. And again, the nature of the bull flag is kind of such that, hey, look, we're going to take out that historic high as well, 43.81. And then what's the next stop? Basic target would be 4,500, but the structure of the pennant is so big. It is a big pennant. It's basically telling you 5K early January, maybe January, Feb. Gotta be bullish gold, gotta be bullish silver. But yeah, actually, ironically, seeing the gold chart gives me more confidence about silver because silver's a wild one. I mean, really, you gotta have a strong stomach to be meddling in silver. Anyways, I was gonna look at some of the miners before I forget. Pan American silver up 11%, new historic high, $48. Oh, look at it. This was 30, 33s. 6 weeks ago. Also, look at the structure. Again, it's a good example of structure. That's a bull flag, right? And it floored at that little gap. Oh, look at that candle. That's a powerful candle. We're going to get more. We're getting more upside tomorrow, right? So what is it? 48s, $50. We go up another 4 or 5% tomorrow. $50. That looks realistic. Again, the cautious will merely be raising their stops. A couple of other silver miners. First Majestic. Yeah, look at that. Same kind of structure. I mean, it's the bull flag is a bit more steep, but it's valid. And up 7%. Not a new historic high though. First Majestic's been outperformed by Pan American, but that's been the way for over a year or two. Heckler, HL, up 7%. Again, they all look relatively similar, as they should. What else is that? EXK. I don't think I chart that one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, a little laggy to the sector. Well, to the other miners, up 4.5%. But again, bull flag should take out 1037, right? What else is there? Oh yeah, Newmont. Let's jump to. Of course, Newmont's a gold miner. Yeah, this was a hell of a candle today. Look at Newmont. Look at this. This is impressive, right? So Newmont was up 5.7% on the day, the best performing gold miner out there. But look at this. Look at the structure. You don't get structure any better than this. Bull flag after breaking out a week ago. Today's candle's massive, probably on higher volume, right? Actually, volume wasn't that high. Huh. All right. That's a little bit surprising. Anyway, bull flag, massive up candle confirming the flag. But again, the bigger issue isn't even that little bull flag, it's the pennant. The pennant is massive. So the notion that it's going to get stuck around 100, I'm like, what are we looking at here? 75, 98. I mean, maybe just call it, maybe just say, hey, look, $100, of course, is a key threshold, but beyond that, 125. In theory, this should be at least 125 by mid-January. That's a good 20, 27, 28% upside. I should I should be buying some calls in this. Probably if I was going to buy calls in Newmont tomorrow or later in this week or maybe next week, um, I probably might be wanting to buy the February, either the hundreds or the 110s. I have no idea how much those are. They're probably pretty expensive because the market makers are not going to be wanting to sell you cheap calls in gold, silver, or any of the miners. They know where the market's going. They know we're going up. One other miner, Barrick. Yeah, 2%. Again, structures. There's a bull flag there, right? So you got to think it's got to clear the 43 high, and if gold's 5K, then what are you looking at then? 55, maybe 60? I mean, 60 would be 50% up. That would merit an option trade. What next? I was going to look at the main market. I'm going to try and keep this video down to 20 minutes because I know you people have the attention span of someone with ADHD. I mean, look, there really isn't anything to say about the main market. It's a holding pattern ahead of the Fed. It's classic. It's like chop chop. And yeah, sure. I'm open to the notion that we come down to orange gap, but I mean, even if we do, we're not going to stay there for very long. So my only concern with holding SLV calls is that The market gets knocked down for a half a day, maybe in the Thursday, Friday, and then rebounds from there. If that was the case, I should be rebuying my SLV calls within that orange gap or something, maybe a 50-day on a stretch. But I'm inclined. If I had to guess tomorrow, I think the market's going to go up on the Fed because we're just chopping around sideways. This is no market for the bears. It's just stupid, waste of time. Anything else to highlight? Oh yeah, the financials I should note. Actually, what did Google do? Oh, look at that. Google. What is that? It's another bull flag. It's just stair stepping up. AKR. Yeah. Look at this. I've been short this. I've been long this. I was thinking about going short, but I'm like, hey, this isn't gonna work. So I'm at least had the sense to not be short, and it's just like powered up today. Look at the candle. It's a little spiky, right, from a price threshold. You got to think if the S&P is net higher into January, then this is got to break above that, maybe even tomorrow. And all of this was going to be one gigantic head and shoulders, but it's been negated. So yeah, KKR looks okay into January. Then of course there's OWL, OWL at 4% again. Look at that one. It was actually red in the early morning. Bullish engulfing candles got to test the 200. They probably got to break above, right? Yeah. I think the company's got to implode next spring. But today's candle bullish engulfing. Can't be bearish that. Not this side of New Year's Eve. I'm just looking at a few random ones. Nvidia, nothing going on there. Um, PayPal should just be like chopping sideways. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. Oh yeah, Tesla. Tesla up a percent. You could argue short-term structure's a tiny bull flag. I mean, the problem is the consumer. I don't see why people aren't worried about Q4 sales, right? How are Q4 sales not going to be terrible? I'm sure the market's pricing in a lot of it, but the idea of being long Tesla, it does not seem such a great idea. Even if you believe the market will be net higher into next January. So Exxon looks like Exxon printed a new historic high. I think it did. That's because it had updated guidance. Oh, yeah. No, I take that back. So it didn't. It's just shy of the October high, historic high of 120.87. We were 40 cents below that today. But yeah, guidance was okay. And considering oil, Exxon's doing okay, right? Oil's sustainably under 60 bucks. Let's have a look at oil briefly. Have a look at it. 126 on Russia, Ukraine, all the way down to 56s. There is a lot of support around 56, but look at that. The volume's gone again. Huh. China market. I mean, look, it's churning around multi-decade resistance. It did break above fractionally, depending on how you draw it, whether it's linking those one line or both lines. I know people don't care about China market generally, but still. And Bitcoin printing 94K. Look, it's got to test 98, 99, isn't it? 100. So it's kind of an indirect signal for silver. If Bitcoin's going up, that it kind of if for instance, if you told me Bitcoin was up 5%, I'm like, okay, silver's probably up at least another two or three. You can extrapolate from one thing to another. United Health down, Hutch, but got to think Green Gap. Yeah. Actually, do I have it on a monthly? Yeah, look at this. Actually, this is a good chart. Look at it. 10 MA. If it breaks above the 10 MA, there is nothing until at least the 420s from April of 24. So that's almost $100. $100 on 323 is what's that? 29%. And in option land, that would be a hell of a trade. So yeah, watch United Health. If it breaks above, I mean, 10 MA is 340, round it up a little bit to maybe 340, call it 345. Anything above 345 would be decisive. I'm guessing it will break up. And yeah, the more I'm looking at this right now, I'm thinking, why am I not thinking about getting some calls on this? Because the good thing about United Health, it's a Dow stock. The call options will have good liquidity, and the spreads will be super tight. I have ethical concerns with the company, but yeah, I'm liking now. I don't think I've ever traded it. Hmm. I'll just one other little thing. Actually, we'll go to Netflix because they're the ones who are trying to buy Warner. Okay, so Netflix settled down 0.1%. No sign of a turn, but look, it's RSI is 30. It's oversold. It is the cyclical setup favors the bulls. Basic target would be what 100 and actually purple gap around 10. Call it 105, 107-ish. That's almost $10. Let's check Paramount Peace Sky. Second day up half. Only I mean it's only up 0.5%, but again you can see it flooring from around the 200 day. Volume today was less, but cyclically we're going to be inclined to turn positive. Not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday setup looks good for the Bulls. And of course, the company itself, Warner Brothers, which settled. Oh, look at that, 3.8%. Wow. So it's in the 28s. My guess is that the winning bid is good. They're gonna have whoever wants to buy it. They're gonna have to pay up more than this. They have to pay maybe 35, 40 on the high end. I do expect Netflix to raise their bid to exceed Paramount at least a little bit. And to be quite clear, I'm pretty sure Paramount are going to counter again. So look for a Netflix counter, and a Paramount counter. And if I had to guess who's going to win, I think Paramount are going to win. I think Netflix will back out, which ironically could be good for Netflix stock in the short term, because the market generally doesn't like companies bidding for others. What else? I don't know. This is very semi-random, but still. I mean, look, the question is, the VIX will typically stay low into year end. I accept that, late 2024, the VIX spiked briefly, but typically, typically this is what you want to be looking for. What happened in late 23? VIX will just churn around the low teens. mid-low teens. I see the VIX trade as dead along with SPY puts. Complete waste of time in my view right now. There was one thing people most overlooked this today. The Russell did print a new historic high today. I mean, it cooled back, of course, but that's okay. It doesn't have to keep going up in a straight line. So yeah, Russell, new historic high, took out the high from what's that? Mid, yeah, the mid-October high, 252.77. It only broke fractionally above, but still, a new historic high should not be dismissed lightly. Now, what else is there? We should round this up. I'm just going to go through the three cycles for silver. I mean, look at it. Short-term bear flag, correction bull flag that played out today. Hmm. That candle looks different now. Why is that? Stock charts is having minor issues. That candle was a block candle. It wasn't like that. Anyway, silver on a weekly. Yeah, you can see I did mark a bullish pennant on here, and silver broke out 2 weeks ago, which is why I chased it. I chased silver around, actually somewhere around here. And yeah, RSI 83, overbought, cautious. I've got to be bloody careful in case this thing reverses. Now, again, more broadly, one, it's clearly a no short under any circumstance. You'd have to be insane to try shorting this. So it's kind of a case of trying to, maybe find a reasonable exit, preferably 62, 63s, and then maybe if I'm lucky, buy it back in the 60 to 59s. But that's a vain hope. Not quite sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. Depends on how we open. And on a monthly, of course, on a 20-year. I mean, look, this this is just like it's almost accelerating upwards. And yes, you can argue RSI is 86 is overbought, but the break above 49 is what matters. Forget about the short-term nonsense. The breakout above the double top of 1980 to 2011, the 49s, is decisive. We know silver's got to go past 100. We know gold's got to go to 5K and then onwards to 10 and then 20. I did say some months ago in the summer, I said, look, I'm, almost I'm almost inclined to dig up an X tweet and just find out. I'm sure I must have noted it down at least once or twice, but I made the point that once silver breaks above 49, it's going to be the most straightforward trade out there. And I said at the time, it'll just be a case of I should be looking to go long, no shorts under any circumstance in silver, and just be long and long and long and long, and just keep buying, and try maybe try and trade in and out if possible. But after a 45-year breakout, and people will be out there, they're going to try and short this. Should be clinical insanity. But hopefully, anyway, tomorrow Fed day, very silver should be up a little bit more. I could do personally with 62 to 63 silver. That would merit an exit because I would like to reposition, roll out some calls to a different month maybe, and maybe even pick up gold. If I'm really bold, if I'm really lucky, I'll sell silver near a high, buy back a couple of percent lower, and split the position 50% silver, maybe 50% gold. Again, that gold chart, that gold daily was even more bullish than silver, ironically. Actually, probably looks better on GLD because I've got it marked and labeled. Yeah, look at the GLD chart. It's the same structure, of course, as it should be, but I've labeled the pennant. So you see, we broke above the pennant last week. We have a bull flag. This is this is like t- double bullish, right? Bullish on the pennant, bullish on the bull flag. We really should have a pretty bullish day in gold tomorrow. Really, because that bull flag is going to have to play out. I really should. I'm not double thinking it, but I'm just thinking I really should try and hold silver for at least another day or two. Because I'm going to be what would annoy me is if I sell silver tomorrow at say 62s and I see it at 65 on Friday or early next week. That would be annoying. The gold is suggesting that, hey, look, gold's going to go up tomorrow. We could easily be up $50 tomorrow. And if gold's up $50, silver's going to be up what? $1.50, $2 minimum. That'll get it to almost 63. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. It is exciting. Anyway, I should wind things up because I'm dragging on too much. But fun day tomorrow. Well, fun day today, and hopefully tomorrow, silver. I mean, if I'm lucky, silver will just gap up 3-4%. In which case, I can just lighten up a bit and not worry so much. Anyway, have a good Wednesday.